husband confessed to me yesterday that he is in love with my sister in a drunken state. I don't know if I should take it seriously or it's just a drunk thing. Yesterday, we had dinner with my sister and her husband, and we all had a lot to drink. After my sister and her husband left, my husband and I had sex. Neither of us was tired, so we continued drinking a bit of wine, listening to music in the background, and everything was amazing. I thought my husband was smiling and in a good mood. He is always like that when he is drunk. We talked about my sister and her husband. He just suddenly said, "I'm so in love with sister's name." I said, "What?" He said, "I'm so desperately in love with sister's name. What I would do to taste her lips, she is brilliant." He looked dreamy and was still smiling. I said, "How drunk are you?" He said, "Probably plenty." I was drunk too, but still, it hit me like a ton of bricks. I just sat silent there, and he too was in his own world with a smile etched on his face. I went to bed. This morning, all memories came rushing, and now I'm not drunk. It hit me even more, what he said. I'm horrified, and my heart is in pieces. He hasn't mentioned anything and is acting normal if yet hangover. I don't know what to do now. He has always had a good relationship with my sister, with mutual respect. Should I ignore his drunken comments? Was that just him being drunk? Should I wait for him to start talking? Not sure if he even remembers. What about the sex we had? Something was different, even though I loved it, and I thought it was one of the best sex of my life. He was different, passionate, tender, and loving, and he kept saying, "I love you, you are brilliant." My sister has always been modest and tomboyish, but she has lost 25 kilograms and has been working out for a year. She had a form-fitting red dress yesterday with red lips. She looked stunning, and we all gave her compliments about it. She was very happy about it. I don't know why I included this. I thought maybe it's relevant. Definitely bring it up once he's not hungover anymore and can think clearly. I am torn over whether I believe the old saying, "Drunk mind speaks sober thoughts," because I do think alcohol inhibits a lot of clear thinking and decision-making. However, I also don't know how much I believe alcohol alone can make someone's husband confess to being in love with her sister. Do you think you'll be able to get over this, regardless of how much he denies those feelings being true? Because I think he will deny it. If I were me, I'd never feel comfortable with my husband and my sister being in the same room again, which isn't sustainable for a marriage. I think he was probably expressing his lust for Op's sister in the moment. To be completely honest here, I know that for many people, whenever their inhibitions are lowered, and they're in an injury state, those two emotions kind get blended into one. For many people, they will have a tendency to express their lust for someone as if it's love. For that reason, nonetheless, Op needs to have a serious heart-to-heart with their significant other. No one will be able to answer for him, and even with conversation, it could be extremely difficult for Op to move forward with a relationship from here. I know from experience that even if this is dismissed as lust, that Op may very well carry this experience with her like a shadow. If you both want to end up trying to make this work, I'd highly suggest couples counseling and individual therapy to help you both move forward in a healthy manner. I wish Op nothing but the best, and I hope for a brighter future ahead of you. I'm so sorry this is happening to you. My ex once told me, "I love you, insert my twin sister's name here," and I said, "That's my twin sister, not me." He was like, "Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I got the names mixed up." He didn't, he was in love with my sister. He was dating me to get to my sister. This is definitely something you need to bluntly discuss with him. Wasn't dating you the stupidest move if you wanted your sister? No sister would accept her sister's ex. That's what I thought too, and then she dated him after we were raised in a traumatic household and didn't have the best dynamics between each other as we were often compared and put against each other by our parents. But I do agree that 90% of the time, that's the worst way to do it. A much better way to do it would be to become friends with their siblings instead of boning them, but I guess he wasn't thinking clearly. This is so painful to read, you absolutely have to have that discussion today. He is acting like nothing happened. Do you think that he doesn't remember saying it? I agree, drunk words are sober thoughts. Have you ever seen any behavior towards her that made you pause? Ask him point blank, and make sure you are facing each other. His reaction will tell you a lot. He always liked my sister, he likes my whole family and is friends with my brothers. But my sister is the one he likes the most, and we are very close with her and her husband. We do most things together that aren't just the two of us. But my sister has always been my best friend, so it was normal. If he had only said, "I love her," it could well be a drunken thing, if him really liking her as a person and saying it like that. At worst, an innocent crush, but no more than that, perhaps. But he went on to make sure he left no doubts about his feelings. What he said were not silly drunken words, it was an articulate thought with a lot of feeling underneath, and it came out because his guard was down. People say a lot of dumb things while drunk. What people typically don't do is profess their love for a person in this way without it having some string of relevance. I would definitely bring it up abruptly and see his reaction. That should tell you everything you need to know. Update. Hi, the rules of update here is 3 days, that's why I didn't update Sunday. When I talked to my husband also because I'm very conflicted. I talked to my husband, he said he didn't remember a lot about that night, especially after my sister and her husband left and we continued drinking. I told him what he said, and he didn't look shocked nor surprised, just that he didn't remember saying anything. I asked him if he felt it before we started drinking. He said that he always loved my sister because she is kind and warm. Then he said that he thought she looked very beautiful, and probably his drunken self thought she was hot. He said it is normal that people are curious about the opposite sex. He said that he always thought she is beautiful because all my family is good looking, but her weight loss gave her confidence, and she looked happy, and he was happy for her. I asked him if he could choose between us and he was shocked and said that I was his wife and the mother of his children and he loved me, so I asked him if he just had met us. I wasn't his wife or anything and my sister wasn't married. He said that this was getting ridiculous, and he hated playing the hypothetical games because people get worked up, fight about things that aren't really. After dinner, he said that he loved me very much, and he is happy, and I shouldn't overthink what he said when he was too drunk to even know who or where he was. I'm just not sure. I keep thinking about you in this situation. I've read your comments. I hope you will see a therapist alone too. It would eat at me how much influence did maintaining continued access to her regardless how limited play a part in his decision to stay with you, and my brain would never ever be able to reconcile knowing how he'd make love to her and that he used your body as a surrogate for his passion for your sister. Those last two would play on a loop in my head for all times, even contemplating getting to a place of trying to share intimacy with him. My brain would never get to a place where I could surrender to the moment and feel the connection. I'd be comparing, I'd be trapped in my head, overthinking every action and reaction. I'd be disengaged and self-conscious, always finding myself lacking. I'm ADHD, and my brain would never be able to believe it wasn't just a performance. I'm very close to my sister, and we even live within 2 minutes from each other. Don't think I haven't thought about that he probably accepted the next best thing of being family/friends with her. I'm obsessing about every interaction and every time he mentions her, etc. It is never in a negative way. He is always happy when talking to or about her. Is he the same about me? I don't know. Is this true, or am I imagining things now? I don't know. Yay, there's no coming back from this, it's always going to be in the back of your head. Grow a spine and listen to your gut. He does. He has confessed for me now. He has had feelings for my sister for some years now, but he said that he loves me and our life together. We are going to start counseling, and from now on, when I hang out with my sister, he won't be there. He said he's in love with her. He said it has gone and come throughout the years. He never wanted to act on them in the past and never will. Now on to the next story. Story 2. My ex-husband who cheated on me with my sister emailed me after 6 years. I, 33F, met my ex-husband, Dan, 40F, almost 15 years ago at a restaurant when I was celebrating my 18th birthday. He was really nice, charming and mature. He made me feel loved and special. For some context, I grew up in a dysfunctional family. My mom and dad used to always fight. My dad would sometimes go out and not come back for months. He died when my sister Abby, 25F, was born. My mom was way too fond of Abby since her birth rather than me. Abby was basically babied by my mother. She didn't neglect me at all, always did her best as a mother and provided for me, but I always felt sometimes missing. After Dan came to my life, I didn't feel like there was something missing from me. He supported me, he was caring. He would always buy me gifts and take me out on long drives. I felt complete when I was with him. We got married after dating for 4 years. I wanted to start a family right away, but Dan encouraged me to do my master's and helped me build my career. He wanted us to be in a stable position financially before we start thinking about having kids. Seriously, he was the best guy I could ever ask for. After 5 years of being happily married, I discovered that my husband was cheating on me with Abby. I discovered the affair when my husband made an excuse that he will go out of town for a week, but he stayed in town and he booked a hotel room where he and Abby can have sex. This has been going on for 6 months behind my back. I was really devastated. Abby and I were close growing up. I loved her and cared for her. How could she do this to me? After D-Day, Dan and I had a fight. I asked how he could do this to me. That too with my sister who just turned 19? He said he didn't love me anymore, that I didn't give him enough attention. That I am not the same girl he fell in love with. Between this mess, I discovered that I was pregnant. But due to the stress, I lost the baby. He didn't even care enough to visit me at the hospital when I lost our child. He was having a weekend getaway with my sister. I should have seen the signs. Abby would always be touchy with Dan. Dan would sometimes stare at her. But it is still very disturbing for me. My mother as usual took Abby's side and told me to just make peace with it. I wanted to KLL myself because I had no one left. Lost my child and my husband, my whole family. Then my best friend Tina, my savior, came to my rescue. She was moving to another state and asked me to come with her. I said yes. I was already divorced at that point and we lived in a small town. So, I would obviously run into my ex and my sister. It took me a while to settle into my new life in a different state, but I met some kind people there. It helped me heal some trauma. I still have trust issues. I met my now husband Tony, 32M, after 1 year of moving to the new place. I was really hesitant and kept my guard up, but he showed me that he is trustworthy and loves me a lot. I was so happy with him that I almost forgot about the life I had back in my hometown. His parents were really welcoming and generous people. We got married a year ago. I am now pregnant with our first child. Yesterday, I got an email from my ex Dan. It just brought back all the bad memories. I am just paraphrasing his email. He mentioned that he misses me. He tried to find me but couldn't. He is very miserable with my sister. She is very dumb and doesn't care about him like I do. I used to bake him a cake and throw birthdays for him. But Abby only texted him happy birthday and didn't even bother to buy him a cake. Plus she is very rude, she doesn't respect him, she is always at the bar with her friends. He also mentioned that she has cheated on him 5 times already. The last affair was with his cousin. Our mother also doesn't stop her. He will soon file for a divorce, but lately he has been missing me a lot. He wants us to try again as a couple. He wants us to become a family just like before. Since I do not have social media except for Instagram, which is private, he probably doesn't know that I am married and I have a baby on the way. I don't know if I should feel pity for him or just laugh because the grass on his side is very brown rather than green. Update. I just wanted to say thanks to all of you who messaged and showed me support. I have decided to send him an email and be done with it. It goes like, Dan, I am sorry to hear that you are suffering, but there is no way I would be with you. Yes, there was a time when I used to be that girl who would have taken you in a heartbeat, but that girl is not there anymore. That girl has died the day I had a miscarriage and you were somewhere shacking up with my sister. I called you but you never picked it up. I am married to a wonderful man who loves me and cherishes me. I am also pregnant with our first child. I am beginning this new chapter of my life with someone I love and care deeply. So, please, do not contact me ever again. You made your choice. You chose my barely legal sister over me. I do not care if she cheats on you or she doesn't respect you. Someone like you doesn't deserve loyalty and respect anyways. I have left my old life in my old town. It will be best for you to move on and have some self-reflect on yourself. You are just a deeply insecure man who is getting old and thought having a young woman would be good by your side. Update 2. 3rd of March, a lot of you have been asking me what he replied. Well, he replied within an hour of me emailing him. He said that he was stupid enough to believe that I would still wait for him. And he said he would always wait for me because no matter what I will always be his baby doll. I cringed hard. He used to call me that, but now it feels repulsive. I also got an email from my mom and my sister. My mom just congratulated me and was excited that she is going to be a grandmother. And my sister also did the same and said she will be the cool aunt. I cannot believe these people. They forgot how they treated me when I needed them. And moreover betrayed me. I cried for a long time because I have been reading your comments. And it seems like me and my sister was groomed by that man. I feel so stupid. I know I shouldn't be mad at my sister, but she was old enough to know it's bad to have an affair with a married man. That too, someone who is your sister's husband. I blocked all of them. I am 5 months pregnant already. I don't need more stress. God bless my husband. He comforted me when I cried. Later took me out for ice cream. I hope I can move past this. I am cooled down now. I think I can make a more elaborate update. Thanks to everyone who has shown me support. I needed it. The email from him, my ex, just struck me like a train. I had flashbacks of everything he has done to me. I think you guys deserve a detailed update. After I sent him the reply mail, he emailed me within an hour with the thing I said in my update 2-part. Few hours later, I got 2 other emails from my mom and sister. They sent me my old email address that I hardly use now. I don't know how they knew about my pregnancy. I try to keep a low profile. I still haven't posted my baby bump pics on social media or made any announcements. I only have Instagram to follow my friends. But it just scared me. I broke down crying on the spot. Luckily, my husband, Tony, was around. He held me and put me on the couch. He knows everything about me. I never hid anything from him. I was a little bit scared that my mom and sister would find me. He reassured me that I am hundreds of miles away from them. I mean, we are in the opposite part of our country. He took me out for ice cream to comfort me. It took 2 ice cream cones to finally calm me down, lol. I told him about my concerns and that my mom and sister might demand to see my baby. It's a girl. He said he would talk to his uncle, who is a police officer, to look out for them. Even if they come here and force themselves on you, he would fight for it. He is going to consult his lawyer friend about this matter. And told me not to worry about my ex. He cannot harm me anymore. My husband even made a joke that he would move countries if he had to. Lastly, someone in my post commented that I should alert the daycare about my mom and sister in case they try to steal my baby. Well, we aren't planning to put her in daycare. Even though I am currently working, I decided I would quit my job and look after my baby and focus on healing from giving birth. I do have a good amount of saving in my personal bank. And this is my own decision. I will go back to work when our little princess is a little bit older. My in-laws are amazing. My Mill and Phil live nearby. They are both good people and offered to help with my child. Also, don't worry, apart from my in-laws I have a good support system too. Tina and her wife, Jenny, basically adopted me, lol. They are really good people and always helped me. I don't know what will happen in the future, but at least I am surrounded by some good people that I never had growing up. Now, I will take your leave and enjoy my husband pampering me. If something big happens, I will keep you guys updated. And my ex, sister and mother are all blocked. If you've made it to this point, you're a beast. Don't forget to like this episode and subscribe to the channel. As always, see you in the next video.